guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Abigail, and today I am continuing the Drawing My Pets as People series. Today I am drawing my first baby, Luna. You can see her pictured there, and I included another picture because she's just so cute, and she means the absolute world to me. So for this drawing of her, I knew I needed to include a few things specifically in her design. Her design is very simple because, as you could see, she's just a black cat. There's no really defining features. She kind of looks like every other black cat you see. She's got yellowish green eyes in some light, such as the first one. Her eyes look very yellow. And then, as you saw in the second picture, her eyes were very green. So, my Luna, she can be sweet, but most of the time she is very sassy. And she's a bit of a chunk, so I wanted her to have a real attitude in the picture. And I wanted her to be a little curvy, on the curvy side, because she's a chunkers. She's my favorite. My husband and I say adopted her, but really she just kind of fell into our laps. My parents live on a gravel road, like out in the country, and my dad was driving 2 years ago now, spring, and he thought she was a little mud ball until she moved. So he pulled over and he picked her up and he brought her home and cleaned her up a bit, and she was so very tiny. She was probably only a month old at that point, because by the time we got her and took her to the vet, she was only about 8 weeks old, and she has been with us ever since. And I don't know what I would do without her. You know, I had never had a pet that was all my own before. She was my first, and I love her to pieces. She is such a, well, if I put it this way, she's such a bitch. She's so mean. She's really sassy to our other cat, and she is, oh my goodness, she's sassy to me. She's got such an attitude. So I had that kind of reflected in her outfit. She's got a black, I put her in a black dress, long black with like the little thigh slit and everything, and to kind of bring in a little element of like animalness. She's got a fur like boa, and I always do the cat ears. I didn't include a tail on hers because I figured it'd be like under the dress, and I didn't know how to really show it without it just looking kind of weird. I don't know, you know, like with it like sticking at the bottom of her dress, because it's a long dress, so I didn't want it to like be lifting the dress up. But I don't know, I think it turned out really adorable. So as with the other two, I am using a Copic Sketchbook. It's like marker paper. I do like it, I don't. It is what it is. It's perfect for markers. However, like if you do heavy line art, you really gotta wait to like let it dry before you go in with the coloring, and even then, depending on how much ink your marker has, can still smudge. So you can see when I go to color her face here, because I always ink off screen, I never ink on screen. I dab around her facial features with the marker instead of like run it along it, just to prevent smearing, because it happens and it sucks really bad, because like I haven't always been the greatest at line art, but lately I've been really finding what works for me and what I like, and then to have it ruined makes me want to die. Like there's some days where if I have my piece smudged, I just was like, why am I even an artist? Why do I even do this? Oh, but it always works out in the end. Anyway, so in case anybody asks, I chose her to have very pale skin because I was going to be giving her jet black hair. She's a black cat, And I love that contrast of like really, really light skin and really, really dark hair, or really, really dark skin and really, really light hair. And she doesn't have any other colors to play with, so I made her pale. That, and she's got a couple bald patches by her ears. Like, she just, like, her hair is really thin there. And I've seen it on other people's cats too, like black cats, and her skin is literally paper white. And so I'm like, okay, she's gotta have the super, super pale skin and dark hair combo. And to break up the color a bit, you see I'm coloring her boa. I'm just shading it with purple because the boa is white. I use this to break up the dark, because otherwise it'd be dark on dark on dark. Same with the red shoes, because I give her like a red lipstick, so I wanted to tie that red in somewhere else. And the white boa is a bit of a play on, so like she's completely black, okay? She's got like 3 hairs on her chest that are white. That's it. No, and when I say 3 hairs, I mean legit just 3 single strands of hair that are white. Every other hair is black. So I gave her a white boa just because, like, oh well, she doesn't have a tiny piece of white hair, but everything else is dark. And her dress took me the longest, this whole piece, just because she's very simple colors and there's not very simple design. This did not take me very long at all. And so the dress, in order to bring a little bit of fun texture in it, I made it sequined. So in order to do that, I go in like this, and I use a light gray to block in highlights and then color it in with a really dark gray. And then after that, I go in with a black marker, and in the dark gray spots, I dot it, like just dot, 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 dot everywhere. And over the lighter gray, I use the darker gray. You'll see. And then I kind of mix it in and add that back. It's just to give it that little bit of texture. So there I'm starting with the black. I don't make you watch me do this whole thing because it took me forever to do all the little black dots, because then I'd like blend them out, go back in, blend them out a bit, go back in. It was a lot of back and forth. It gave a really cool effect though. I really did like how it looked. So right about now is when I switch the video. I did all the rest of it because I was not about to make you watch me do all of that. It took so long, and like it looks still a little weird. I was like, oh man, I've done this little sequin, how I did the sequining things in previous drawings, and it looked better. And I was like, but just wait though. It looks a lot more like sequins once I add the white in. So I did her hair black. Yeah, like I said, it's just very, very simple. I think it very, very much so speaks to my Luna. I feel like she would either be one of two things. She would either be having this really sleek, black, classy, like, I'm beautiful and I know it look, or it'd be like the complete opposite and like sweatpants and like, if you don't like me at my sweatpants, get fucked, and you don't get to see me in my completely dressed up. But that's not as fun to draw. Sweatpants, they're not as fun to draw. So I chose the fun dress because who wouldn't? So then I grab a white pencil, and I had a few strands in. Yeah, you couldn't see it because it was a Col-Erase pencil, so it's just not as like opaque as the normal Prismacolor colored pencils. And then I use my Uniball Signo white gel pen to add in hundreds of white dots. Lots of white dots. And that is the final step to sequins. So in case you want to try this out yourself, sequins is color with like a not mid-tone color, kind of mid-tone maybe, depending on how dark it is. So choose a color to color the whole thing as, and then you use a darker first, and then you go over with white, and that gives you a nice little sequence pattern. I don't know. I thought it turned out really cool, and I thought she looked really adorable in this. And I don't know, I really enjoyed making this. Sometimes with art, you will work really, really hard, and you'll make all this cool things or whatever, and sometimes you'll work really, really hard, and it turns out like garbage. And it's really discouraging, and I've been feeling a little like that lately. So for this not to have taken me that long and turned out really adorable, that really made me happy. And I hope you enjoyed it too, and I wish you good luck on any art or creative ventures that you may have coming up. So as this video comes to a close, I just wanted to say a couple things. So one, I ink with Micron and Copic Fineliners / Multiliners. And after I finish with the white, I don't film a whole lot of it, but I'm not sure I film hardly any of it. I go over with the outline, the outer edge, with a thicker multiliner that I used to line her, so that way she just pops out from the page a little more. Something, a little cartoony effect that I add, and I like the way it makes it look. So there I start it, which you can't even see, but that's okay. And there it is done, and I sign it. Oh, and that little image there on the side I drew her all kind of spooked, because Luna always looks like that. You know, she either looks all regal or she looks like absolute, like, what on earth is going on? Throw in a quick background, and she is done. I hope you liked her, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and yeah, stay safe. Bye.